Okay, welcome to the City of Live Oak special called City Council meeting, September 26, 2023. Okay, since we had have it on the agenda, let's do the invocation and the pledge of allegiance.
We thank you, Lord, for this day, and thank you for this body coming together to meet about the affairs of our city. We pray you give them wisdom and direction. Thank you for our citizens that are here tonight. Thank you for the recovery of our city and our county. We pray your help and blessing upon those who are going through difficulty. We pray in your name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the second item on the agenda is the final budget hearing. 2A.
All right, this is our second meeting about the final budget. The first thing we need to talk about, the taxing authority forces the city of Live Oak. The rollback rate is 8.8646. The percentage of increase over the rollback rate that we're going to adopt is 7.17, and the millage rate that we're going to levy is going to be 9.50.
We'll read the title into the record. Ordinance number 1496, ordinance fixing and prescribing the millage to be levied by the city of Live Oak, Florida for a municipal purpose for fiscal year 2023-24.
Okay, we want to open it up to the floor for public comment. This is the third reading of the budget. I'm sorry, second, excuse me. Hearing none. You go forward. What is the wishes of the board?
Offer motion that we accept the final reading of ordinance 1496.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
This is it. Second.
And a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion carries. Okay, item D.
Item B is just the final reading of the ordinance of 1497, which adopts the operating budget for the city of Live Oak for 23-24.
I'll read the title to the record. Ordinance number 1497, ordinance adopting the city of Live Oak's Florida operating budget for fiscal year 2023-24.
Okay, reading. Okay, is there anybody who would like to in the public comment on this reading of this ordinance? 1497. And seeing none, what is the wishes of the board?
Offer motion that we approve of 1497 ordinance.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
And we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? And the motion carries. Okay, this is the third item on the agenda, which is a public comment, and I think we have FEMA representatives that are going to speak.
Good afternoon, Live Oak City Council. Pleasure to be with you today.
State your name.
Yes, Alan Wren, FEMA Intergovernmental Affairs. So I hope you guys have been getting all the emails I've been sending you, daily flyers, fact sheets, things like that. Semi-local, originally from Hamilton County. I took my driving test in Live Oak. Hamilton, doesn't really have capacity to do that. But today I have with me Brian De La Cruz Lugo. He's going to talk a little bit about the individual assistance questions. We also have hazard mitigation, which Laura Dewey, she's the Chief of Mitigation for FDM, Florida Disaster Emergency Management. We also have Darrell Walker, who spoke at the 2 o'clock Special Agriculture Legislative meeting. In addition to that, we have Yusef Henderson. We have our Division Supervisor here, Ms. Allen.
Thank you.
Good evening again. My name is Brenda Cruz, and I am, I guess you could say, the subject matter expert for FEMA on the individual assistance and the type of assistance that survivors could receive once applying to us. In short, if they receive assistance and are not satisfied, we do have what we call the appeal process that we definitely do try and present out. We do have a disaster recovery center that's here located in the Swanee location. The appeal process is something that they can submit with a letter, any type of contractor's estimate or any supporting documentation. FEMA will kind of go over it and then go from there and make a decision based on what they receive.
Do you have any questions? No? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Good evening, I'm Laura Dewey. I'm the Bureau Chief of Mitigation at the Florida Division of Emergency Management. Just briefly wanted to make sure everyone's aware that there are grant funds available for hazard mitigation. We fund projects such as hardening infrastructure, so wind retrofits, we can do generators, we can do elevations of residences or acquisitions of residences. We can, just fund a lot of these projects that can help make a community more resilient. Drainage projects, things like that. It is a reimbursement grant program from FEMA. There is a cost share, 25% non-federal cost share is required. But these programs are designed to make your community more resilient in the future. They're not intended to be recovery programs, so this is, looking at things down the line, not necessarily things that were damaged by Italia, but intended to improve the community over time. Every county has a local mitigation strategy plan and working group. So every county has one of these groups. They meet regularly. We provide support at the state to these groups. The groups all include members from each of the jurisdictions, and the groups kind of identify projects that the community is interested in, prioritize, and everybody has a seat at the table to prioritize those projects. So definitely, if you weren't already aware of your LMS or local mitigation strategy working group, get in touch with the correct people at Suwannee County Emergency Management, and they will be able to help you understand a little bit more about the programs. But happy to answer any questions now or after.
Mr. Sessions, is this something that Ms. Cat is aware of, these funds?
This is state right here. She's federal, but she's aware of that also, but Corey and Mr. Shope and Mr. Simons are aware of this operation of the state.
Maybe possibly you could write your name.
Yeah, I have business
Number.
cards. I can hand that out.
Yeah, hand that to me, please.
Yep.
Talk. Anyone.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Darrell Walker. I'm the FEMA Hazard Mitigation Group Supervisor for the Adalia event. I come from small town America myself. I know some of the unique challenges that we face in our small towns. I want to encourage everyone once again to take advantage of the Disaster Recovery Center while it's here. We can fight the phone, we can fight the computer, but you can get face to face with people there that can talk to you specifically about your issues. Everyone's situation is different. That's why we ask for a lot of information. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of fraud in the past with FEMA programs, and that's part of the frustration folks have. We have to verify that the person has legitimate claim. To bear with us through that process. Also be aware of appeals. When you you see a denial letter, it usually means we don't have enough information to proceed. That being said, I just want to encourage everyone to have a mitigation mindset. The way I think of that is if you're walking down the hallway with an extension cord laying in the floor, if the person kicks it out of the way for somebody to trip on it later, you're already having that mindset. If you're the person that steps over the cord and leaves that hazard for someone else, then you work with your little try to set mitigation mindset there. My grandfather used to say, proper prior planning prevents pitifully poor performance. Your hazard mitigation plans that you have for your local community are very important, not only for your local government to participate in, but also the members of your community. When your responders show up at a fire, at a farm, or a other facility in the town, they need to know where the breaker boxes are, where the chemicals are stored, if there's any other hazards there that they need to be aware of to protect our responders to go out. With our programs, yes, there are grant programs, there are matching monies that are available. We'll furnish that information to Mr. Bolts, the county emergency manager. He's going to get that up on the county's website, so it's readily available for everyone. I do not bring paper to hand out because that doesn't work very well on the links to take you to the information, but we'll make sure that information is available. Should be up by tomorrow. Lastly, I'm going to be providing a guide that's actually for our public assistance for working on the infrastructure projects, but there's a lot of good information in the back, and I like it. For a guy like me, it's got pictures. I work better with pictures. But it's things we can do now that don't cost a lot of money, whether that's if it was a flood situation and it wasn't very deep, you may be able to block some breaks, a stand underneath your washer dryers, hot water heaters, things like that you may lose in your home. It may be that you go out to look at the building you park your car in and you realize that maybe it's not very stout when it comes to the wind, but you can add the wind clips to it and so forth. These are things that are low cost and can be done immediately. The problem with hazard mitigation is the definition is any sustained action that lessens damage to property or prevents loss of life. We just want to be sure that we provide those low-cost solutions for the things that we can do now, and then work on the real issue is the work that we do does not show until the next event. If we do a good job on mitigation, we have less impacts in the future. So, kind of scattered and all over the place here. I will remain after the meeting. Any questions that you have, I look forward to them, and wish all the best for the community.
Thank you, sir.
Question, you all have a departure date when y'all gonna?
No, that'll be coordinated with the state. We do not pull out until the state disasters are locally managed, state-led, and being supported. We are here at the invitation of your governor to support the state and the local community in their response to recovery. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we're up to Mr. Mayor, but I think we need to add, have an addition on at the end of the agenda for resolution 2023-23 with Mr. Sessions.
We'll do that at the very end.
Right at the very end. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. I did want to say thank you to these folks here. The representative from FEMA was there in the EOC from day one, and federal Florida Department of Emergency Management, they were there. Katie Feeney and Zach Bell, they were really good and helped our people. So thank you all for coming and helping us. I have one item, and that is appointment of a commissioner to serve on seat 5, the Live Oak Housing Authority Board for a 4-year term, which expires September 30th, 2027. And Robin Tina Reed, you all know Ms. Reed, she was a council person here, is the person that has made application. Ms. Pruitt had made an application, withdrew it. Ms. Reed had an application in, and I think there's some question. I did talk with her. She is willing to serve on the board. So I put her name forward to be appointed to seat 5.
Okay, we've heard the recommendations from the mayor for the Live Oak Housing Authority, C5. What's the wishes of the board?
Oh, a motion that we accept the mayor's recommendation to appoint Ms. Robin Tina to the Housing Authority Board.
Okay, we have a
Next
motion.
4 years.
Sorry, we have a motion.
Second.
And we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? And that motion carries. Okay, item
Thank
5.
you.
Thank you. Item 5, Mr. Sessions.
As I discussed with all of you individually about the budget and the planned pay increase, we actually have the pay plan schedule already revised and prepared. So if you would go ahead and work on the resolution 2023-18, excuse me, my bad, 2023-20, and adopt this revised uniform classification pay plan schedule, I would appreciate it.
Okay, you've heard recommendations from staff on resolution 2023-20. What's the wishes of the board?
Offer motion to approve 2023-20.
Okay, we have a motion
Second.
and we have a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? And the motion carries. Resolution 2023-20. Okay, 5B.
We have to discuss and have possible action on resolution 2023-21. It's a resolution authorizing the execution of a grant agreement with the state of Florida DEP, providing the acceptance of a grant award up to $304,000 in reimbursable costs associated with construction of a new 12-inch water main to complete the loop in the existing water main system. The actual loop will go across 129, just a little bit north of probably where the new Highway 55 restaurant is, and complete that loop out there. And it'll be a good thing for us to keep the pressure up in the system. So, whatever y'all like to do.
Okay, you've heard recommendations from staff. Resolution 2023-21.
Offer motion that we approve resolution 2023-21.
Okay, we have a motion
Second.
and we have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. Okay, 5C.
See, I'd like to get Mr. Gill to read that into the record.
Yeah, put me on the spot. City Council Resolution number 2023-22, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Live Oak, Florida, extending the local state of emergency for the City of Live Oak pursuant to Section 252-0.38, parentheses 2, Florida statutes due to the threat of Hurricane Idalia, providing for a waiver of procedures and formalities, delegating authority, and providing an effective date.
You've heard the recommendations of staff.
Offer motion that we approve resolution 2023-22.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? And that motion carries. Item D.
Mr. President, it'd be better if we moved into resolution 2023-23 since it's very similar.
Yes, sir. That's fine.
Mr. Gill, read this into the record.
All right, this is, my understanding, this is for the following next 7 days. City Council Resolution number 2023-23, a resolution of City Council of the City of Live Oak, Florida, extending the local state of emergency for the City of Live Oak pursuant to Section 252.38, parentheses 2, Florida statutes due to the threat of Hurricane Idalia, providing for waiver of procedures and formalities, delegating authority, and providing an effective date.
Okay, you've heard staff's recommendations for resolution 2023-23.
Offer motion for approval for 2023-23.
Here we have a motion and a second. Open for discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion carries. Go back to item D now.
Correct. The we need to have a discussion on possible council action for authorization to participate in a low-income household water assistance program. Joanne, you want to explain a little bit of that? We'd like to participate in it. There's a lot of back and forth with the company we're discussing as far as information.
Yeah, the state of Florida has adopted a program with their, Joanne, their finance director. Good evening.
She's new, right?
Yeah. There are caveats to the program that I'm not sure we can meet. One caveat is that they want, once we sign the agreement, they want us to not assess penalties if they have given us a promise. Normally, when we have agencies that give us a promise, it's not paid until we receive the funds. With this program, you would basically be telling me to accept their promise as payments. That may not come for a week or two. I'm just, you know, and they don't want us, of course. If they give us a promise for a specific account, it's usually in writing, but I wouldn't penalize them and I wouldn't shut them off. But I do for everybody else, like SREC or, you know, Catholic Charities. If they give us a promise, it's only good for us to not shut them off. We do still assess penalties because we don't have the cash.
So you're saying the group, the organ,
Yeah, it's
state?
LIWAC it's a state organization. SREC is basically also, but this is a LIWAC program, Florida Low Income Household Water Assistance Program. That's the most challenging block for me. However, I also have a little block. I have to provide them a list of every account with the customer's name and address and their account number and the amount due. That's not too bad a challenge, except that they want the account number to be a specific format.